This is Doxy Mom, and welcome back to my channel. If you haven't done so already, I'd greatly appreciate if you hit that little red subscribe button. You can ring the bell for notifications, and if you like this video, just give it a thumbs up. Well, me and Miss Valentine, we're going to bring you the news in 15 minutes or less. Guys, I apologize. I've been away. I've just been really busy working with this barrel racing ministry that I volunteer for. It's going to be happening in the next several weeks. So between now and mid-September, if you don't see me every day, guys, I apologize. I'm just really busy trying to get all of that finished and put together. And, you know, I can't do both because it takes a lot of time to do all the research. So if you don't see me, don't worry. I'll be back, I promise. But I'm sure that you all heard that terrible news about that attack on that little 7-year-old boy outside the DNC convention. The little boy, his name's Riley, he was attacked for wearing a MAGA hat. And on the video, you can hear him crying and begging his mama to call 911. Well, 2 women, they have been charged. Olivia Winslow, she was arrested first, and then 21-year-old Cameron Amy was arrested, and they have both been charged with first-degree robbery, second-degree conspiracy, and endangering the welfare of a child, along with 2 counts of offensive touching. Because the second woman, Cameron Amy, she attempted to stomp on the little boy's hat, but she stomped on his hand, and then she punched a man in the face and then a woman in the face. I mean, what is wrong with these people? Well, we all know this is hate, and this hate comes straight from Satan. And let's just pray that both of these hate-filled women will find Jesus in prison. And I'll leave a link. Now, Analyzing America, they're reporting that since the DOJ started Operation Legend in July, 217 people have been arrested with a federal crime, and over 1,000 arrests have been made in major metropolitan cities. Now, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives have seized nearly 400 firearms. And A.G. Barr, he said in a press conference in Kansas that they have arrested the suspected murderer of Legend, the little 4-year-old boy who was shot and killed in Kansas City, and that's how they named the operation after this little boy. Anyway, this arrest, it won't bring Legend back, but it will make his case an example of how they can come together to take violent criminals off the streets and make their community safer. Now, Operation Legend, they have federal law enforcement agencies. They work in conjunction with local authorities, and as of right now in Kansas City, 43 people have been charged with federal crimes, along with 61 in Chicago, 16 in Albuquerque, 32 in Cleveland, 22 in Detroit, 11 in Milwaukee, 25 in St. Louis, and 7 in Memphis. Then there are over 1,000 that have been arrested on non-federal crimes. So I just hope that they can get all of these violent people off the streets. Of course, if they were in New York City, as soon as they're arrested, well, they just let them go with no bail. So Governor Andrew Cuomo, he needs to change his policies, or nobody is going to stay in New York because it's just not safe. And let's never forget the 12,000 elderly patients that died because COVID patients were put in the nursing homes on Andrew Cuomo's orders. Guys, you could not pay me to live in New York City. And I'll leave a link. Now, 17 has become mainstream, it seems. Several reporters have started asking President Trump and others if they support the violent right-wing QAnon movement. Now, guys, we all know there is nothing violent about 17, but the mainstream media, they can use fake Q people to make it appear violent. And that evil reporter, Chris Wallace, who in my opinion should be working for CNN, not Fox, well, he asked Mark Meadows about QAnon yesterday morning. And Mark said that he finds it appalling that with all the important things that are going on, the first question you ask about is QAnon. Mark said, let's look at Antifa. Let's look at domestic terrorism and quit spending time on something that 81% of Republicans don't even know what they're talking about. 81%. That's a very interesting number. So, by my calculations, that means about 40 million people are following Q. I could be wrong. It's just kind of how I calculated it. Anyway, Chris Wallace, he asked if President Trump supports this hate group. And Mark says, well, if it's a hate group, this president is not for hate. So did you catch it, guys? I'm sure you did. President Trump nor any of his team have... So President Trump nor any on his team have come out and said that President Trump isn't working with 17, because we all believe that President Trump is Q+, right? But if President Trump said, oh yeah, I'm working with QAnon, I believe in them, well, George Soros would have his Antifa thugs start spray painting Q's on everything. We know this, guys. We know how they play. So the MSM, they are calling it a hate group, and it takes all of 2 minutes to go over to qmap.pub and find out that there's no hate about this. There's nothing hateful about it. It's truth, something that the deep state is trying to cover up. So Mark Meadows, he handled that interview beautifully, and I'll leave a link. Well, the RNC, guys, it's starting today, and President Trump will speak all 4 nights. Notable speakers include Tim Scott, Steve Scalise, Matt Gaetz, Jim Jordan, Charlie Kirk, Nicholas Sandmann, Rick Grenell, Rudy Giuliani, Nikki Haley, Mike Pompeo, Ben Carson, several members of Trump's family, and a few others that will all be listed in the website that I'm going to link below. But President Trump, he will deliver his acceptance speech from the South Lawn of the White House. Now, I am sure it is going to be awesome. I will keep you posted, and I will link Axios, and also on that site, if you just scroll down, they talk about what President Trump announced yesterday in his press conference, where the FDA has granted an emergency use authorization of convalescent plasma as a treatment for the Chinese virus. So, people who have COVID and now they're well, they're asking these people to donate their plasma, and they'll give that plasma to people with COVID in the beginning stages. And the science shows that it has lowered the mortality rate by 35%. So this is pretty good, guys. Of course, hydroxychloroquine, if it's used in the early stages with zinc and a Z-Pack, that will, to me, that's the most effective way to fight COVID, but in most states, you can't get the hydroxychloroquine. But I'll leave a link, and Methods tweeted this. I wonder how much of the plasma donations from people diagnosed with COVID will turn up never having it to begin with. Now, Donald Russo tweeted this. Rush Limbaugh thinks Biden's speech was pre-recorded. Who agrees? Well, I agree, Donald. There's no way that that speech was live. I just truly don't believe that. But what I'm waiting to see is Biden debate our wonderful president, because I honestly don't believe that Biden's going to be able to last 5 minutes with President Trump. Now, the 3 debates, they are to take place. Right now, they're scheduled, and according to Town and Country, the first debate will be held at Case Western Reserve University on September 29th. The second debate is in Miami on October the 15th, and the final debate is on October 22nd at Belmont University in Nashville. Now, the first 2 debates had to change their locations because of COVID, but the debates, they should take place, each beginning at 9 p.m. They will run for 90 minutes. No moderators have been announced as of yet, and the vice president, he will debate on October 7th at the University of Utah in Salt Lake City against Kamala Harris. And guys, I can't watch that. I just won't be able to watch it because she is evil, and when I look at her and when I hear her speak, it's worse than nails on a chalkboard. But we just have to remember, guys, we've got to keep praying Pray for President Trump. Pray for A.G. Barr. That's very important we keep him in our prayers. I was listening to a prophet, I can't remember on what channel, but he was really talking about Attorney General Barr needs our prayers. Of course, John Durham and his team, 17 in the team, the military, everybody's families, and all those fighting for our country. And I want to leave you with Psalm 15 that says, Lord, who may dwell in your sacred tent? Who may live on your holy mountain? The one whose walk is blameless, who does what is righteous, who speaks the truth from their heart, whose tongue utters no slander, who does no wrong to a neighbor and casts no slur on others, who despises a vile person but honors those who fear the Lord, who keeps an oath even when it hurts and does not change their mind, who lends money to the poor without interest, who does not accept a bribe against the innocent. Whoever does these things will never be shaken. Well, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, this is Doxy Mom, and God bless you all.